What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are doing well. As we embark on the second weekend of the Black Ops 6 beta, I want to remind you all that there's going to be a lot of negativity towards this beta throughout the next few days and upcoming weeks. But embrace it, because I think a lot of the negativity has been misunderstood. People look at the negative approach that YouTubers like myself have towards Call of Duty, and they think, wow, we're a bunch of haters. We just don't want Call of Duty to be good. We don't want people to have fun playing Call of Duty. When in reality, it's the complete and utter opposite. I look at Black Ops 6, for instance, and I see flaws within the game. But there's aspects that I like. But what's going to do the developers more good? What's going to be better to talk about within this community? All of the good things? Or the negative things so they can be fixed before the game goes live? Obviously the latter. It's a beta after all. As much as there are good things with the beta, and I do want to highlight that in a future video, but as it goes right now, it's important to be negative. It's important to be critical. It's important to find the issues that the game has so they can be rectified as soon as possible. Because the goal here, at least for myself, is to use my platform in the most constructive way possible to help Call of Duty get better. And I get it. I'm a small channel, I don't have much influence. But if I can say one or two things that sticks with this community and it grows from there, it can have a positive impact. I mean, just another voice saying the spawns suck could lead to spawn changes, because it sounds like that's what Treyarch is going to focus on. If I say, hey, player visibility sucks, and that catches on, maybe we see improvements to player visibility. It all does not come from a place of hate. It actually comes from a place of love. I love these games. I love this franchise. I want to see it succeed, and I want to see it be the best it can possibly be. And unfortunately, right now, I see a franchise that is complacent with mediocrity. This is a billion-dollar franchise. Call of Duty makes over $1 billion a year, if not more. And yet they are completely okay with being a mediocre game that would rate itself at a 4 to 6 out of 10. Now, to me, that's embarrassing. That's unacceptable. But yet, we allow Activision to be okay with that type of rating because we don't hold them accountable. Because there's this section of the player population, of this community, that likes to be overly positive towards Call of Duty. I'd even approach it as being toxically positive towards Call of Duty. And that's not okay either. I don't think being overwhelmingly negative, toxic negativity never gets us anywhere. If you can be constructively negative, I think that's a good thing. That's what I try to do. But also the inverse is the same. If you're always positive all the time and you never strive for things to get better and you're never critical of things, you're left with what we have with Call of Duty. A billion-dollar franchise that is complacent with mediocre games. I know, deep in my heart, as much as I say negative things towards Call of Duty and its developers, I know that if the back was against the wall for Activision and they needed their developers to create an 8 out of 10, a 9 out of 10, a 10 out of 10 game, they could do it. I know they could do it, and that's why I hold them in such high regard. That's why I have such high standards and expectations, is because I know that they can achieve it. They have unlimited funds at their disposal. They can get the best developers. They can hire the best graphic designers. They can literally get anything they want with the money they have. And yet they don't do it because we all continue to feed the machine. We all continue to be complacent and allow Call of Duty to be mid. And I'm tired of seeing Call of Duty be mid. That's why this channel has meandered to being so negative, is because I have to call it out. I have this small little platform that I like to use as a means to voice my frustrations with the franchise. It does not mean I don't love Call of Duty. It does not mean that I hate this game. I am not a hater of Black Ops 6. I'm somebody who wants to see it get better. The perfect example that I can utilize is the progression from Modern Warfare 2 to Modern Warfare 3. Because of the overwhelming outcry from the Call of Duty community, many of the errors that Modern Warfare 2 made were rectified in Modern Warfare 3. But if we were all complacent and we were all overly positive about Modern Warfare 2, I guarantee you, red dots would not be on the minimap in Modern Warfare 3. The post-launch support and content would never have been as good as what we had. Dead silence would not be a perk, and perks would still be timed. All of this would lead to a negative gameplay experience. But because we always have to be positive and you can't criticize the great Activision, nothing would change. But luckily, that's not the world we live in. We held them accountable for bad design choices, and they improved vastly. Like, I haven't played Modern Warfare 3 in quite some time, but even when I left, there was more content in that game than there was the entirety of the Modern Warfare 2 lifecycle. That is a healthy improvement. And we already can tell that even though I don't love the maps in Black Ops 6, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, I can still see a path forward to this game being well supported and having some great content. But saying that the maps are bad right now might get them to fix and change some of the aspects of their maps for future release. It's not going to do anything before the game launches, but some of the post-launch maps could improve. And that's the goal. Hold them accountable. Criticize them when it is necessary to do so. Don't just blindly do it. Don't just hate the game to hate the game. I think that kind of stuff is overly toxic. But approaching it from a critical point of view and saying, I'm doing this because in my mind, these suggestions are going to make the game better. Like, who wouldn't agree that eliminating COD HQ would make Call of Duty better? Very few people. Who wouldn't agree that better servers would make Call of Duty better? Very few people. Who wouldn't agree that matchmaking being improved wouldn't make Call of Duty better? All these things are said to be critical of the game, but also to see the end result be more positive for the franchise. Call of Duty isn't where it is today without criticism, without this community being a little bit critical. It's important that we do so. Because I look at some of the best progressions we've had in Call of Duty. COD 4 to Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 2 to Black Ops 1. Those were key changes that needed to be made. Modern Warfare 2, as well esteemed as that game is, it had a broken system with stopping power being a crutch perk. Well, Black Ops 1 learned from that. And they said, okay, we're not going to allow this. There's going to be no stopping power in the game. And from that point forward, there's never been stopping power again. They also looked at it and they said stacking of kill streaks was a little bit oppressive, so we're going to change that. And they did, and it worked out. There's a lot of reasons why Black Ops 1 is highly regarded. It's not just the fact that the campaign's good and the zombies is great. It's because they made meaningful changes and progressions from one multiplayer to the next. And we could say the same with MW3. People were getting frustrated that they weren't being rewarded for playing the objective. Well, you got objective points now that helped you get closer to your kill streaks. And still one of the best things that they did in that game was have the specialist streak, which I'd love to see return to Call of Duty at some point in time. But they also learned from the mistake of Second Chance Pro and Ghost Pro that completely destroyed and at least affected in a negative way Black Ops 1's gameplay. They changed up Ghost Pro so it was in two different perks. I think it was called Assassin and Blind Eye, if I recall correctly. And then they completely removed Second Chance from the game. A great change. And then from from Modern Warfare 3 to Black Ops 2, again, meaningful changes were made. Score streaks were implemented. A completely new create a class system was implemented. All of this led to a more enjoyable game. That inner competition to learn from their past mistakes to improve for future titles seemed to be the driving force in what made Call of Duty so successful early on. Even looking at some of their advanced movement games, the lessons they learned from Advanced Warfare to Black Ops 3 were massive. There's a reason why I love Black Ops 3, even though it's an advanced movement game. They perfected it in that game. But if you fast forward to now, it doesn't feel like they're learning from past mistakes necessarily. They did so with MW3. They definitely didn't do so with Modern Warfare 2. They didn't do so with Call of Duty Vanguard. They didn't do so with Black Ops Cold War in some cases. I want to see resolutions to past mistakes. One of the best examples I can use of Treyarch learning from their past mistake is the fact they completely changed the kill streak system again here in Black Ops 6 versus the way it was in Cold War. Cold War is a good game. I still hold that as fact. I believe in that game. I like it. But I never liked the score streak system in that game, and I'm glad that they changed it for Black Ops 6. It hasn't been in any of the previous games, so if you never played Black Ops Cold War, you never experienced it. But trust me, what we have in Black Ops 6 is far better. It's nice to see them learn from their mistakes, rectify them, and try to improve. And that's why I think that negativity is a good thing sometimes, as long as it's approached critically. Being negative for the sake of negative is toxic. The same way that being positive for the sake of being positive is toxic. Neither of these things help us get to a better endpoint. Neither of these help the game progress. But if we approach it with criticism and with the mindset of improving the franchise, we get to a point where we can improve the game. And if we improve the game, hopefully we'll enjoy it more. And Activision wins in the end too, because we're playing the game more often. So those are my thoughts on it. I really hope you understand my point of view here. And now I open the floor up to you down low in that comments section. Tell me your biggest criticisms of Call of Duty right now. Be honest with where this game is at. Do you think it's great? Do you think it's bad? What would you change? Find critical points of improvement for Call of Duty. And heck, if you're really interested in doing it as well, I'd invite you to find some criticism for this channel as well, because I'm always looking to improve. So if you have anything that's been bugging you, if you have anything that you want to see on this channel, let me know in that comment section. Honestly, I'm looking forward to reading it after a video like this. So I thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. And I'm going to go play some Black Ops 6, and I'm looking forward to it. So I hope to see you guys in the next video. But until next time, see you later.